season and obviously get into the new season as well. I kind of want to jump in from the beginning and talk about last season feeling very different than the other 2 seasons that we'd had. It got a little bit darker, but for all of you guys on the panel, kind of just jump in. How much fun was that for you, or what did you love about kind of going a little bit darker, getting a little more emotional?
It's so much more fun to be bad. It was fun. I got to be Killer Frost and take it, a little bit darker, a little bit edgier. That was great.
We've seen you go full Killer Frost. We've seen full Caitlin Snow. And I kind of have come up with a new name. Do you think this new season she's going to be like Light Flurries or something? Like, what's her next name?
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys, for that laugh. Thank you.
Great job, Tim.
I tried something.
You're on fire.
Smattering.
Where is she going to be in the next season, kind of?
I mean, I don't know. Who out there likes Caitlin Snow? And who likes Killer Frost? Guys, good news. No one's going to be disappointed.
That was a good answer. It was very politically correct. She didn't give too much away.
Thanks. I've been practicing all day.
I love it. So we obviously got full dark from Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost last season. Also Savitar obviously being the big bad of the season. For all of you guys, when did you know that it was actually going to be a different version of Barry, and how did that kind of impact your acting on the show?
I knew pretty early on. It didn't obviously affect too much for me because Barry didn't know. But yeah, I knew pretty early on. Did everybody know pretty early on?
I think so.
Yeah.
We're not good at keeping secrets, so.
That it was gonna be me.
Yeah, you told me like immediately.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really bad at keeping secrets.
Oh, that's how that stuff tracks.
I was like, basically Todd's like, and that's why we don't tell Grant anything.
Exactly.
But one of my favorite scenes on this season as well was obviously when Grant, you were acting against yourself. Can you talk a little bit about doing that scene? Did you have another actor in there? What was that like for you playing both sides?
Yeah, it was real. We had this guy, Andrew Dunbar, that was awesome. It was really fun. Tom Cavanagh, right here, this guy. He directed that episode. So that made it a lot easier because we obviously have a very strong working relationship, and
A strong relationship also.
just get along. Yeah.
In general.
And it wasn't necessarily easy material, and having a scene with yourself that's emotionally charged.
No, I can speak to a little bit because he won't compliment himself, but Grant is a phenomenal actor, and then when you see him add the nuances and that, let me just finish.
Okay, all right.
And the smaller layers between the two, and then bring it, both of them, but the scenes that he had to do when he was playing against himself were very strong and emotional and powerful scenes, and to watch him hour after hour bring the same energy for one character and then match it with this different energy but equally powerful energy, it was an acting clinic. It was great to watch.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Is that all? You don't have anything more to say?
And also, you're very handsome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, and speaking of playing different versions of yourself, Tom, we got to see so many different versions of Harrison from all different times. I don't know which one is my favorite, but what was that like for you, kind of jumping in between all those different versions?
Well, it turns out WB ran the numbers, and 33 times they ran the numbers, and they found that the show's success runs inversely to how many Welleses I play. It's really, and basically they also took from that to screen time alone. If I'm on, the show dips. So it doesn't really matter what I think. It seems like right now we're going to concentrate on different things.
Right.
Got it, I got it.
For the good of the show.
I love it. Well,
There's 1,000 different wells, and we'll introduce some more, I'm sure, as the season progresses. Yeah. So.
I only can imagine you practicing and figuring out what those other versions are. Does he come to you, Todd, and he's just like, how about this one?
Poor Todd. Poor Todd.
He does. He actually sent me a video one time of like 4 or 5 different Welleses. That was awesome.
Awesome is one word for it.
The video message?
Video message.
Yeah, I like Cowboy Wells.
Oh, I like French
Cowboy
Wells.
Yeah.
He needs to make a comeback.
Oh my gosh, I feel like
Notice
that.
nobody is pulling for the mime. Nobody wants it. And the mimes out there can't protest, can you?
That was funny.
It was funny.
All of those versions need to be on the extras. I'm just saying that right now, so fingers crossed for that. Candice, let's talk a little bit about too many secrets between you guys, but when did you know that your character was actually going to survive?
Again, very early on because of Grant Gustin. Literally, no producer has ever told me that I wasn't gonna die. Thanks for that.
I
Zach.
remember telling Nelson, you should tell Candice because she's gonna read that script. And
Yeah, no one told me. So thanks for Grant. He came in pretty early. He was like,
I think
listen,
they
you're-
eventually told you. I just told you
No.
first. Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
But Grant was like, there's a script coming up, you're gonna die, but you're not really gonna die,
Yeah.
so don't worry, you got a job. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, I can live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty early on I knew I was safe.
Looking out.
Yeah, good looking out.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, bro.
What, Todd?
Like, did we seriously not tell you?
You did not tell me.
Well, I was like, at least the love between you guys is real in real life and on the show. Grant's like, I'm gonna save her in real life too. I love it. And getting to see kind of different versions of people and different incarnations of things. Jesse, let's talk a little bit about the musical episode. Just from the response alone, I know that everyone was so excited. Obviously, there's a lot of incredible singers on this stage right now. And I actually was lucky enough to visit on one of the days when you guys were shooting. So it was incredible. What was that like for you guys?
I think everybody had a great time. I mean, I just wish we could have smashed more time and people into it. But for me, I got to work with Victor Garber. Like, something everybody wants, particularly, New York stage actors. We know what that means to stand there next to that dude. So I was thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And I'm glad you guys liked it.
Well, and another thing, Jesse, we've talked about quite a few times on DCO Access is that you're always like, what do I want next for Joe? Well, I want him to have a love life. Can he have someone he's interested in?
Yeah, right?
So,
And I got one.
So let's talk about the love life now. How are things with Lucille? What are we going to get into next season?
You call her Lucille? Cecile?
Cecile.
Yeah, I thought you said Lucille.
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's gonna,
That's my pet name for her.
apparently gonna get, a little bit more serious. That's really all I can say.
That's pretty much it. You're like, and thank you. I love it because every time new actors come into the mix, you get different chemistry, you get different versions and things come out of each of the actors. Specifically with you down there, Carlos, we got a little fun stuff. I loved it because not only is it chemistry between you guys, but it seems as though the connection with her has helped to up your powers, your vibe as well. Because you connected with her when you were in a time of stress. So can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, Jessica Camacho, who, that's right, she's awesome. She showed up and, I didn't know what this was gonna be like, because we're supposed to be a romantic item, and I've never met this girl in my life, and instantly we just hit it off. I think primarily because she's such a cool girl, you know what I mean? And she really got the material, she committed to that character and all of Gypsy's powers and whatnot. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of that.
And kind of speaking to that even more for all of you guys, what is it like when a new actor does come into the mix? Do you feel like it really changes your acting or changes what you bring to the table for the show?
Definitely. I mean, we get so many great people coming in. I mean, it seems like they're combing the streets for the best of the best, and they keep bringing them to us. It's a nice thing, and everybody has to up their game when the new person shows up. Not only that, treat them like the guest stars they are.
Yeah.
I have to mention David Desmalchin, who played Abracadabra when he showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
It was awesome.
It changed everything.
And let's just jump off of that and say, so we got a lot of new people on last season. I'm gonna direct this one at you, Todd.
Yep.
Are we gonna see some new faces in the new season?
Yeah, I've been waiting all day to reveal this. So the end of last year, we hinted a couple times at Clifford DeBow coming on. So our big bad this year is the Thinker, and Neil Sandilands is from The 100. You may know him from The 100. He's going to play the Thinker, and he's amazing, and we're stoked. We also have, speaking of Gypsy and and vibe, Gypsy's father, Breacher, is going to show up, and he's going to be played by Danny Trejo.
Bomb dropped.
I gotta ask Carlos, what did you feel like when you heard that was gonna be her dad?
I put my pants. What do you do? Please be aware many members of your audience may be under 18.
Under 18.
There's also one more. There's another role along with the Thinker called the Mechanic, and she is going to be played by Kim Engelbrecht. So we'll have a nice little female villain as well.
I love hearing about the villains that you guys are going to bring because obviously it changes the dynamic of what Team Flash has to do. What is it this season that you guys are really trying to go for in that way? Because last year obviously it was Savitar and it was Barry against Barry and really just trying to save Iris.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, this year it's with 3 speedsters in a row that we did. We want to change it up. So the Thinker, the way that we're sort of explaining it is it's the fastest man alive versus the fastest mind alive.
Whoa!
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are good for people like, yeah.
We're also, I mean, a big thing this year is we're really trying to lighten the tone a little bit. Last year it got pretty dark, and we want to get back to the jokes.
And speaking of lightening the tone up a bit for the next season, Grant, were you just like, yeah, next season I'm in the Speed Force. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, I thought I was going to show up like midway through the season. Yeah, but no, I'm on the show, guys. Yeah.
If we can get into it a little more too, where are we going to pick up? Because obviously, Keiynan, the season ended with you kind of taking over the mantle of the Flash in Central City. Where do we pick up with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of how I view it is like Wally had to step up, not necessarily step forward. I think the whole team had to come together and be like, how do we make this machine work without the guy that was at our lead, you know? And so everyone's sort of just having to band together and do what we can with this sort of like sad situation and find the love and find the light wherever it is possible. So I think Wally's sort of growing up, he's finding a sense of freedom and self-confidence with himself that isn't as cocky as it was last time. But yeah, I think they're really just trying to be there for each other to deal with this and navigate this whole situation. Love you guys too.
And for each of you guys for the different characters, because you're going to have to go into the season, and we saw some of it in that little teaser trailer, everyone dealing with the fact that Barry is gone. How does that affect each of your characters moving forward, if you can share any of that?
Sad he's gone.
Yeah, well, okay, for me, Iris, I mean, she's devastated.
You play Iris?
I play Iris. Yeah. She's devastated that he's gone into the Speed Force and that they didn't really have a discussion about it. He just took off and left. So we pick up season 4. Iris has kind of focused her energy on being the leader of Team Flash, actually. She kind of steps up and leads the team, which is really, really cool. Yeah.
I love it. And I think it's a cool kind of transition from last season where it's like, not that you couldn't save yourself, you were working too, but the whole team was working together to save you, and now you get to be the one who's like, let's all do this together.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
And I'm a nerd about this stuff. I get really
I love it, girl.
Danielle, for Killer Frost at this point, can you talk at all about where she's gone, where she's been? Because obviously she says she's leaving, but we saw her in that footage.
But who did you see?
You've said nothing today.
You're welcome.
You're like a master of direct answer. You're so good.
I'm really excited for this season.
Todd, how proud of you are. How proud of you
She's
are.
doing amazing, yeah.
She's not gonna break.
I'm gonna guess that Danielle knows all the secrets on the show. She's the one who keeps her lips sealed.
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
That is usually true.
Like I said, obviously I'm a huge fan of the show. For you guys being on it, I know that you have moments that really stand out for you. Is there a scene in particular, an episode for each of you guys that really sticks out from last season?
I really liked getting to do the episode that Tom directed, where we got to go 8 years in the future and play versions of our characters, in a what-if situation. That was a lot of fun to play, and revisit those sets, in this weird way where they're all destroyed and there's leaves everywhere, and you know what I mean? It's really cool.
And that was fun for me personally, for favorite moments, just watching, this cast do normally when you're in a scene, you're involved, so you're playing your character. You're not. You're. That's my dad.
Dad, come on.
So we're lunch. What?
It's not time.
Dad, tell him.
It's not time yet.
He's
Dad.
famous. You listen to him, Dad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, but to watch them when you're at the monitor, you're not in the scene. Just watch them act and perform. It's a stunning amount of talent to be able to witness and be part of it. On a daily basis, it just felt like a real privilege.
Yeah, the prison scene for me in that episode was really fun. I was in prison.
Oh, you were amazing.
Also,
there was also one moment. There was one moment we did a team flash thing. Where Grant, myself, Carlos,
teared up.
Tom Felton. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So a lot of times we colloquially refer to ourselves as Team Flash.
Yeah.
This is Team Flash. And there was a moment where thanks. We all we fashioned this moment where we all kind of put our hands in and we say Team Flash, and Grant's beside me, and we hadn't rehearsed it because I was like, guys, I want to try this thing.
We were all like, really?
Put our hands in, and then we put our hands in and we said Team Flash, and I started crying, basically. Yeah. And he mocked me, so that made it even better.
You were mostly crying because of the real life situation of what we had all been through, and that's it. It got me.
Team
too.
Flash.
It was just, Team Flash. And he's a sweet guy.
I love that because for me, for sure, it comes across so much on the show that you guys really do have a huge love for each other and a huge support. And as you guys have said, so much of it is the acting that you guys keep pushing each other further and further. And I think the emotions that we saw last season, it stood out so much for each and every one of you guys on the panel up here and for all the guest stars and co-stars as well. What were the moments for the rest of you guys that really stood out from last season?
God, I had so many.
Yeah, for me, the scene you brought up was it was the most challenging scene I did last year in Tom's episode, just because I was my own scene partner and there was a crazy wig and it was a lot of, both guys had a lot to say, so it was challenging.
One guy was leaving, one guy was broken, one guy was giving up. It was phenomenal. Yeah.
So
I think for me, Flashpoint, the first episode of this season, was, again, there was something kind of light and fun about it, and I always enjoy those moments on the show. It was also really cool to have that brother-sister
crime fighting unit.
I'd have to say the last episode of the season, just because it was so damn emotional.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think about that. Like, where would we go from there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he literally walks away from all of us, including his fiance, into a place where he may never ever return, where do we go from there? I mean, we're finding out now, but
Well, not everything. We're finding out little pieces. We'll find out more.
Well, we found out.
Yeah,
No, Grant doesn't know anything.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, for me it was Flashpoint because it was the first time I suited up as Kid Flash, and it was very full of lots of emotions. I was very afraid, I was very nervous, and I was also so excited because it's like, obviously that was a very cool dream of mine as a kid, so I still obviously feel like a kid, so it feels very fitting, yeah.
Grant, did you give him any advice for the first time he was putting on the suit?
Like stupid, practical advice, about your neck and stuff, and
You helped me do the sliding.
That's right. We worked on the slide. That's right.
I'm still
sliding in's a thing. But I remember one of your first shots was laying in the dumpster, and I was like, okay, look, this is what you can do to work the neck, because the suits are kind of pain in the butt.
Well, you need somebody to tell you that because it's like when you're taking an Instagram photo and you're like,
Yeah.
make sure I look really good, and you're like,
That's
this
the
is what's
that's
gonna
the
look good on the
most
show.
important thing. Yeah, the Instagram photo for your first day.
The suit has to look as good as it possibly can.
That's true.
So good advice, Grant.
Yeah, well.
Todd, did you have a favorite moment from last season?
I think for me, maybe it was the musical just that episode because for me, when Greg and Andrew were like, "Yeah, you and your brother are gonna write this one," we're like, "Wait, what?" Like, we don't know anything about musicals, so it was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun, and to watch dailies and see these guys, it was a pretty amazing experience.
I love it. Well, I know that everybody out here has some awesome favorite moments from last season as well. So right now, what we're going to do is take some questions from you guys for our panel up here. I don't know, where are you guys going to be? Oh, we've already.
Wow.
I mean, Grant, do you need to give him some advice on that too?
No, he was tight.
What's your name and what's your question?
My name is Alex Lugo. I'm actually from Mexico.
Word.
Oh, it is.
I actually met you guys last year. This is my second year in Comic-Con. So excited.
Welcome
Love
back.
you guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay,
Love
the
you.
question is, are there going to be any more crossovers?
Yes.
That was the fastest question answer of all time.
He's the fastest man alive.
They were being watched.
We see you
Fastest
everywhere. I don't rush them.
I'm confident right now. I love it.
Thank you. My question was if Iris is going to play a role in getting Barry out of the Speed Force?
Great question.
Great question. Yeah, to a degree, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You guys, honestly, I can't remember. That's why I'm taking so long to answer this question.
Wow.
Just this too. But yeah, she does. She's, like I said, she's kind of boss lady at Team Flash now, so she's an active participant in getting her man out of the Speed Force for sure.
That's a sweet.
All right, what's your name and what's your question?
I'm Lindsay. I kind of have a question about the musical episode. I don't know if you remember last year at the panel, someone shouted, Flash the musical?
Yep.
That was me. And
They definitely heard it.
would you say, is it the musical talent behind everyone that was the inspiration, or say...
It was you.
It was you.
No, I'm sure it was musical talent with Grant being on Glee, is that right? And
You're on Glee.
Oh, right.
Lindsay, shout out something else and we'll do that too.
I guess she was just trying to ask, where's the inspiration from? Where did the inspiration come from for the musical episode?
It's just when you have a cast like this that can do anything, and it's also Greg Berlanti is a huge lover of musicals, and so it was really his brainchild behind it. So, you gotta thank Greg.
All right, who is our next question asker? What's your name?
Aiden?
Hi, Aiden. What's your question?
We just met you, Aiden, didn't we?
Aiden, nice hat, nice shirt.
Yes, I was there for
Yeah, good to see you. Again.
What is he doing?
When is gonna be the next musical?
I think right now we don't have any
Aiden,
plans.
it's gonna be whenever Lindsay shouts it out. And then we're gonna do that. Next season. Thank you.
Next season. Okay,
Season
next-
5.
okay.
The answer is season 5.
Hi, how you doing? What's your name? What's your question?
The angel in the house here. Hi guys, you guys are awesome.
What's up?
I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, but Tom, the way that you have differentiated all of the different wells has been some of the greatest acting that I've ever witnessed. And I want to know, as an actor, what do you do to prepare for those type of differentiations?
Well, first off, thank you. A lot of times I get a little more credit than I deserve. You have to remember that there's a team of people writing these.
It's not true.
There's a team of people trying to forge what the storylines are, not just for me, but for everybody here. And they spend a lot of time in the writers' room coming up with those kind of things, and then they write the words, and then I hit a mark and say those words, and people think that maybe I created those words, but I didn't necessarily, And so for me, when when coming up with the different wells, the one thing I've tried to do is, because everybody on this stage is so winning, when coming up with Harry, I thought, well, maybe if there was a guy who's a bit of a jackass, you know, that would help, because we need a little bit of antagonism, a daily antagonist. And then in season 3, we were a little darker, and I thought maybe if we had a little bit more humor, that might be a place for that. And then season 4, I'm just going to sing the whole time. Thank you, Grant.
You're welcome.
Gustin.
I'm not gonna sing all.
That's just a little preview of what's to come. What's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name is Jennifer, and through the miracle of Netflix, I recently caught up, and I'm now a big fan.
Thank you, Netflix.
Yes, thank you. I am still confused, and I was hoping somebody might be able to explain how Savitar existed in the first place. If you had to kill Iris to exist, when exactly did Iris die?
Do you watch Dr. Who?
Dr. Who?
That's his first name. That's his first name.
There's a reason why we're not doing time travel anymore in season 4. We'll have to have a sidebar. It's a long, long explanation.
I'm like, that's when you just say time travel.
I've tried to
Timey-wimey.
many times, yeah. I've moved on.
Okay, what's your name? And this is our last question. What's your name and what's your question?
My name's Devlin, and I just wanted to say, Grant, you're my hero.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the Flash. So my question is for Todd and Tom. If we've seen so many versions of Harrison Wells, and that Harry is Jesse Quick's father, so I was wondering maybe on another Earth we'll see Johnny Quick as Tom Cavanagh as a speedster.
First off, I love that you complimented Grant first and got a question in. I like that. Yeah, I feel like
Me too.
one of the things we've done is we've organically created, like you said, all these different multiverse, all these different options. Every Earth is an option, and so yeah, Johnny Quick is an option. Todd, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, no, I mean, we like to pull from all the characters from the comic book. So, I mean, there's a whole list of people that we want to do in the future. Whether that happens sooner than later is yet to be determined. But yeah, there's a whole list of potential people that Tom could play.
Actually, if there's one more person, we can take one.
Saying something.
Hi, my name's Gabe. I didn't know I was going to be able to ask my questions, so I forgot it. So I just
compliment Grant.
Well, I actually just wanted to compliment all you guys, just because out of all the CW shows, you guys is like the only show that like brings me so close to tears every other episode with all the relationships. I just wanted to say I really appreciate it, and you guys like all do a wonderful job, and thanks for almost bringing me to tears every other night.
Thanks.